everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a reading that is meant to be all about your next significant relationship. I used a couple of different decks, which is why I have pulled the cards ahead of time. And basically we're going to be looking into who, what, when, where, how, why is this person, who they are. I believe first what we're going to get into is how the two of you will meet. And then we will get into who this person could possibly be based on zodiac signs, and also give some insight into their personality and a little bit into perhaps some physical attributes that they might have. Then we'll be taking a look at when you can expect to meet this person. So especially when it comes to the when and when it comes to time frames, please use discernment. Okay, use discernment. You would obviously know if you're going to be meeting somebody, or if you're close to being in a relationship with somebody versus being in a relationship with someone a little bit later in time, because if I'm remembering correctly, some of the time frames did vary. And lastly, we will get into, what is this relationship going to be about? What is it meant to teach you, etc., so on and so forth. So I hope that sounds good to everybody. And with that said, let's get into the crystal selection. For pile 1, we have this agate. For pile 2, we have satellite. And for pile 3, we have amethyst. Hello, pile 1, my agate pile. Let's take a look at who, what, when, where, why, how you are going to meet this person. And first off, we are going to start with the how. So as far as how, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, which to me makes it quite clear that you are going to meet this person at work. Okay, whether it is that you work with this person, whether you meet this person because there's somebody who comes into your work, or you meet this person at some sort of work party, event, or function. It's quite clear between these two Pentacles cards that meeting this person at work or through work in some way is going to be the most likely way that you will meet them. Now, the other thing that I want to point out are that Pentacles cards at times take a little bit longer, especially the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is one of, if not the slowest moving cards in the deck, which means that for some of us, when it comes to this situation, it could feel like a long time coming by the time that the connection that you have with this person develops into a full-fledged romantic relationship, which is what we are looking for here. Okay, we're looking for your next serious or next significant relationship, which means to me, you might meet this person through work in some regard, and that it is going to take a bit of time before the two of you develop from maybe a friendship or a relationship as colleagues to being in a more so romantic relationship. So I do hope that makes sense. Now, let's get a little bit into the who. First, we're going to look at the potential zodiac signs. And we have fire signs and we have earth signs. So that brings up half of the frickin' zodiac deck. And it'll bring up Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, as well as Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Basically meant to indicate, or it is meant to indicate, that this person could have fire and earth, or a mixture thereof, especially within their sun, moon, rising, or Venus signs. And now let's get a little bit more into the who. And as far as that, we have the Lady of the Mirror and the Swan Queen. So with the Lady of the Mirror, we have reflection and non-judgment, offering some insight into their personality a bit, as well as transformation, intuition, and patience on the Swan Queen. So just very quickly and briefly, I'm going to go over the physical attributes that seem to be indicated on the cards. I'm not quite sure of what the rest of the models look like on the rest of the cards, but as we could tell, these two are, rather slender, and they also would appear to be rather tall, even though they're both kind of scrunched up. So I would say that there's a possibility of this person being taller, and let's say on the thinner side. And we also have someone with light skin and red hair, as well as somebody with a darker skin tone with silvery hair. So this to me is bringing up like platinum blonde. It could be bringing up somebody that's more so of a silver fox. And then we also have this red hair as well. So the silvery hair, I would say, is maybe open to interpretation. Maybe it could be, again, something like platinum blonde, or it could be something along the lines of somebody having gray hair coming in. So we have the reflection message on one card and the intuition message on another, which to me is going to bring up that this person might be very introspective. This person could be more so of, let's say, a deep thinker. The tarot card that keeps coming to my mind is the Hermit. Someone who takes their time, someone who, kind of like the Knight of Pentacles, somebody who takes their time, somebody who really thinks things over, somebody who seems to be very insightful, someone that has a lot of wisdom, and so on and so forth. So this person is going to, I feel, as a highlight, let's say, be a very deep thinker, be somebody who, be someone who, again, you like, almost like this person too is going to be really good at giving advice, but at the same time, this person, the one thing on the Lady of the Mirror card, non-judgment, it brings me to this person just making you feel very comfortable. You feeling like, of course, this person's not going to be judging you. You feeling like you can immediately be yourself around this person, and you really having no fear in doing so. Okay, because you know that this person isn't going to judge you or what's coming out of your mouth. So you feel like you are able to go to them. You feel like you are able to confide in them. You feel like you're going to be able to trust them. So overall, I would say, again, this person's very introspective. I would say that this person's very trustworthy. I would say that you're going to feel very comfortable with this person almost immediately. We also, on this card, have the message of patience, which I find funny because I feel like that brings us back to that, again, the Knight of Pentacles, taking their time. That this person also, this person likes to take their time. Like, what this person reminds me of is... let's say if you were to get into a fight or an argument with them, they need a couple of hours or even an overnight to recover. They need some time to think things through before they're able to present their feelings to you. And that's not in a bad way. That's just the way that they operate. They like to reflect upon things before they put things on the table, sort of thing, which maybe for you might be frustrating, but overall it seems like this person, again, is very introspective. They like to really think about things. They're very considerate. They're just overall seeming so far to be good. They seem to be a very good person. We have the transformation message on the Swan Queen. And what I like with that transformation message is that it's bringing up for me that this person is somebody that has the capability of learning and growing. And with that said, when it comes to the connection has the capability of learning and growing with one another throughout time. And a lot of times when there is a message of someone and a couple perhaps being able to learn with and grow with one another throughout time, that for me is a marker of someone being soulmate, or of being a soulmate rather. So within this connection, there's definitely long-term potential here, but there's also an indication that this is somebody that you are going to be able to learn with and grow with throughout time, which to me would signify that this person is a potential soulmate. And with that said, we are looking at your next significant relationship partner. We're not just looking at any sort of like Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo type of character here. So it's nice to see that you and this person really have the capability of lasting, let's say, a lifetime together. Now we are going to go over the time frame. As I said at the top, use discernment when it comes to the time frames. Time is fluid, time is ever-changing, etc., and so on and so forth. But use discernment when it comes to time frames. We have Capricorn season and we have December, which actually for your pile would bring up a very similar time frame to one another. So this would be taking place more than likely toward the end of this year, into December 2023 to January of 2024. So I hope that that makes sense. As it was implied at the beginning of this person likes to take their time. And even when it comes to their personality traits, it seems as though this situation might require some patience. And for some of us, we might not even know this person yet. For some of us, we might not even know this person yet, but you will be meeting this person or moving forward into it. It's more so you'll be in a relationship with this person, rather. That's what I was asking when I was pulling the cards, is when will you be in a relationship with this person? So with that said, we've got Capricorn season and December, which pretty much line up with one another. But again, as always, please, and as my disclaimer, use discernment when it comes to time frames. And now, for the last bit of this reading, we are going to get into the what. Okay, basically, what is this connection meant to teach you? How is this connection going to be? Etc. Just really what is this connection meant to teach you? What is this connection bringing into your life? How is this connection going to make you feel? What is this connection going to be about? Kind of just an all-encompassing whatever messages could come through, giving us some more insight into your connection with this person. And these beautiful cards here today are the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. So what I love with the Nine of Cups, I'm going to start off with that card, is the Nine of Cups is representative of wish fulfillment. This to me can indicate that a lot of the qualities that this person has are going to be things that you have been hoping for, wishing for, praying for, or actively manifesting for. What I also love with the Nine of Cups is, to me, it can represent that you are someone who has your shit together and this person is someone who has their shit together. And there's a lot of things separately that the two of you have got going on for you in your own lives. There's so many different things that have, come to fruition for each of you. There's so many different things that you feel fulfilled by, and there's happiness and contentment that the both of you feel separately, on your own, etc. And when the two of you come together, it's kind of like that missing piece, or that missing piece of romantic fulfillment coming together. And basically the point that I'm trying to get at is that with that Nine of Cups, there's a strong indication that both of you going into this connection are already going to have everything that it is that you need. Both of you separately are going to be very happy and very fulfilled all on your own. So when you come together into this connection, yes, it's with this person that's more so of the person of your dreams. And yes, it's with this person that's a potential soulmate. And yes, it's with this person that's going to be a significant relationship partner. But the two of you aren't looking for a relationship to sort of, let's say, complete you. The relationship is just more so of an added bonus to your lives, which I feel is something that is very important. That neither one of you are looking to get out of singlehood quickly because you're miserable being single and you need to be in a relationship. No, both of you are entering into this relationship really having that same perspective of, I'm very happy and very fulfilled right now, and I want that sort of companionship, or I want to be in a relationship. You're not looking at this connection or looking at this relationship as one that you need to be in. I hope that makes sense. To me, it's this very strong, beautiful message where you have everything else going for you, and maybe you're still single and you decide to put yourself out there. You decide to maybe ask this person out, or they decide to ask you out, and the two of you start a relationship together, already really having everything that you need separately or in your singlehood, and not really looking toward one another to provide happiness or to provide fulfillment. I hope that makes sense. We then also have the Nine of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups to me can indicate that. Also, again, actually going back to the intuition and the reflection messages on the other oracle cards, the Knight of Cups to me, a lot of times it could bring up someone, or it could bring up intuition, and it can bring up creativity. So to me, this can be an indication that maybe that's something that you and this person either have in common, or something that the two of you kind of like, I don't I wanted to say, or what I got was what almost came out of my mouth was hype each other up about. But it could just be like maybe the two of you have in-depth spiritual discussions. Maybe the two of you are both very intuitive and you guys talk about that. Maybe the two of you are both into the same sort of creative hobbies, and that's something that the two of you bond over. Whatever the case might be, there's definitely something that pertains to intuition and or creativity that brings the two of you closer together and makes the both of you even more compatible. My other thing with the Knight of Cups, is that this connection could be one that's very romantic. And what I mean is you might be very romantic, or your person might be very, oh my God, now I can't talk. You or your person, or both of you combined, could be very romantic with one another. This Knight of Cups to me is going to bring up, like dates, breakfast in bed, nice vacations, rose petals, just a whole bunch of even the bird on the card seems to be holding a chalice with some grapes. And to me, it's kind of feeding you grapes like the ancient Greeks or Romans used to do. Whatever the case might be, it just seems like there's a lot of sensuality, a lot of intimacy, and a lot of romance as well between the two of you. Or that might be something that you've never really experienced before in another relationship. You might not have been with someone as of yet that has the capability of being very romantic. And I feel like this person has that capability of being somebody who is very romantic. And the final card to jump out, or actually it was the first card to jump out, and I just did this all backwards, but we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles I love to see here, because to me it can indicate that this person really seems to boost you up. This person really hypes you up. Maybe that's why I wanted to say hypes you up before. This person really seems to hype you up. This person really seems to, it's like you already have strong self-worth. We could see that with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups shows that you have everything that it is that you need as you approach or move forward toward this romantic relationship. But that Nine of Pentacles to me is going to bring up that this person does nothing but boost your self-esteem. This person does nothing but hype you up. This person is your number one fan, your number one cheerleader. This Nine of Pentacles to me would also indicate that this person admires your confidence, your successfulness, your abundance. This person is all about you. And something that this strikes me as too is, or something that I just heard at the end, is this person's going to treat you like the queen that you are. Speaking of the being fed grapes message that the Knight of Cups gave to me as well. But with all of that said, it's really the strong indication of this person treating you the way that you are meant to be treated, the way that you deserve to be treated. This person recognizing your worth and acting accordingly. And overall, this person, really admiring you. And all of the successfulness and prosperity and abundance that you have, but this person really treating you so well. This person treating you like a queen. I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much, Pile 1, for allowing me to read for you today, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 2, my Sodalite Pile. Today we are going to be getting into your next relationship, going over who, what, when, where, how, why, what is this person all about. So at first we are going to go over the how, and as far as the how, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. I get two different separate messages from this. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you. But with the Queen of Pentacles is going to bring me work, first and foremost. But the Queen of Pentacles is also a homemaker. She's very into the home. And then we have the Empress, which to me, the Empress can represent house and home. With that said, one way for us to date within our house and home would be online dating. So I feel like how you will meet this person is either at work, via, someone that you work with, somebody that comes into your work at some type of work function, event, or party, meeting them through work in that regard. Or it could very well be that you will meet this person while you are swiping along on a dating website. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest, and only date or approach dating in whatever way you are comfortable with based on what your own preferences are. But those are two strong messages that I get as either work or online dating. My other thing too with the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress as far as a how, even though this wasn't exactly what I was asking, sometimes when I'll ask how or when you'll meet someone, it will more so bring me of like what's going on in your life or what needs to happen first or how it is that you're currently doing when you're going to meet this person. And I feel very strongly in saying that the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are highlighting that, as far as how you're going to meet this person, you're going to meet them when you have this very high sense of self-worth. Because the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are two cards that are highly indicative to me of self-worth, of self-love, of self-care. With that said, I feel like as far as the how, when there's more so, let's say, of a focus, or you're focusing very heavily on self-worth, self-love, and self-care, is when you will be more likely to meet this person. And again, what we're looking for as far as the time frame later on is when you will begin to date this person, when you will end up in a romantic relationship with this person. So as far as the how, again, it could be that you meet this person at work or you meet this person via online dating rather. And I also feel like as far as that how or when, it's going to occur when you're really placing a strong focus back onto yourself. So I hope that makes sense. Now, as far as the who, we're at first going to get some zodiac signs out here, and then we are going to get some personality traits and very briefly go over some of the physical attributes of the people that are on the cards. So as far as zodiac signs, we have water, and we have Cancer. So we have Cancer showing up twice, pile 2, along with Pisces and... I'm a little slow today. Pisces and Scorpio. How could I forget Scorpio? As being potential zodiac signs. And again, this would be Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus signs. Okay, so lots of water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces also all coming through as far as the zodiac signs. Lots of water. As far as personality traits and some physical attributes, let's say we've got the Queen of Light, and we also have the Wise Woman of Wonderland. So, with that said, we definitely have lighter skin, lighter hair, perhaps even lighter eyes. This card right here, I'm definitely focusing on her curly hair. So, it could be an indication that perhaps your person is going to have curly hair. But definitely, I would say what the physical attributes are bringing up are mainly lighter skin and lighter hair, lighter eyes, perhaps. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. That is just a very brief glimpse at what the two people depicted on the cards look like. So, with all of that said, let's get into their personality. We have integrity and compromise on the Wise Woman of Wonderland, and we have illumination, enlightenment, and celebration on the Queen of Life. What I love with integrity and compromise is, first of all, the integrity message is going to bring up for me that this person's very honest, they're very trustworthy, kind of like their word is their bond sort of thing. And what I feel like with that is that you'll find very quickly into knowing this person, dating this person, being in a relationship with this person, that their words match their actions and their actions match their words. When they say that they're going to do something, they follow through with that, which I feel is, of course, extremely important. We also have compromise. So compromise is going to bring me that this person's communication skills are very good. Yeah, communication between you and this person is definitely going to be very open and honest. I also feel that way because of the illumination and enlightenment on the Queen of Light card. You know, this person is not the type of person to leave you in the dark. And I would even say when it comes to the way that this person's feeling, they're not somebody that's going to leave you in the dark. They're not going to be somebody that's going to leave you guessing. This is somebody that more so is going to wear their heart on their sleeve. When it comes to compromise and communication, when it comes to those two words, we have, for me, a lot of reciprocation going on. There's reciprocated time, effort, and energy. This person is putting themselves out there. This person is also like very open to you putting yourself out there with them. I also want to say that I feel like this person's going to be very understanding. Very welcoming, very loving, very understanding. And again, making you feel very comfortable around them to begin with. The enlightenment message on this card will also bring me to even the integrity message that perhaps this person is very wise. I would also say that this person has very strong morals and they might really stick to whatever their core values are. This person has certain values perhaps within their life and they definitely would stick to them. That leads me back to, though, the enlightenment message. I also feel like this person is somebody who at times can be very introspective, very wise, someone who gives great advice, etc. And the last part is the celebration message on the Queen of Light card. And that celebration message to me is basically also going to bring up that this person at times can be the life of the party. That this person at times really knows how to not only celebrate and party and have fun and have enjoyment in their lives, but I also feel like there's a message here of this person really celebrating and enjoying their life. That this is somebody who generally at a base level is very happy, very content, very maybe even at times charming. And there's a certain word that I'm looking for that, of course, I can't come up with. But it's just this, what I'm getting from that is this celebration of life where this person is just truly joyous. That at times this person is a pleasure to be around. They don't basically, I guess also what I'm trying to get at is this person is not really someone who likes to dwell in or dwell on their own misery. This is somebody who likes to celebrate life. This is somebody who likes to focus on joy and positivity, etc., and so on and so forth. I hope that makes sense. Now we are about to move forward into a time frame. As far as time frames, I've pulled 2 for each pile. With that said, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you. And please use discernment because I'm pretty sure the time frames are going to vary. As far as time frames, with all of that said, we have Virgo season, which is August 23rd to September 22nd, along with spring. So, obviously, those are 2 time frames that are meant for 2 different people or multiple different people, etc. And again, use discernment when it comes to the potential time frames that are being indicated here. Now, for the last bit of this reading, we are going to get into a little bit of the what. Basically, what is this person bringing into your life? How is this relationship going to be? What is this connection all about? What is it teaching you? Etc. Really just very general ideas, but giving us some further insight into the connection itself and your relationship with this person into the future. We have the 6 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands. One thing that I love with the 6 of Wands is the six of Wands is going to bring me back to something I said earlier when it comes to that Queen of Pentacles and the Empress and self-worth. 6 of Wands considers themselves very worthy. They're very successful. They're very confident in themselves. And I feel like perhaps that's the type of energy that you exude. I also feel like that's perhaps the type of energy that your person exudes. And I feel like something that's really going to attract your person to you is your confidence. Okay, whether you always feel confident or not, the confidence that you exude is definitely going to be something that this person finds incredibly attractive and obviously highly desirable. So that 6 of Wands to me, it's also going to bring up that there's a lot of potential for this connection to be very stable and secure and successful. It overall seems like to me this is 2 people who really, let's say, have their stuff together. who are coming together and who are going to have or form a very successful partnership, one that has the potential of lasting a very long time. I also feel like the Six of Wands is going to bring up how supportive you and this person are toward one another. You know, even when it comes to that celebration message, and we have the Six of Wands and even the Four of Wands, this continues with that sort of celebration message, but it's also a celebration of, let's say, the love between the both of you. It's a celebration of the wins that each of you have, both separately and together. It's an indication that the two of you are very supportive and that the both of you wish each other well. It's funny because a similar message came out for pile one as far as being cheerleaders, but I feel it even stronger here. Like, this person is going to be your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader, your biggest well-wisher. You and this person are going to really have the ability and take the time to uplift one another throughout time. When we move forward to the Seven of Cups, I love to see the Seven of Cups here because I find it interesting as far as maybe even the enlightenment and the illumination. And the Seven of Cups to me can represent fantasies and idealism and dreams. And to me, there's just a strong indication of you and this person. At times, perhaps, maybe the both of you are separately like big dreamers, let's say, but it also seems like the both of you are very supportive of one another's dreams. I hope that makes sense, and maybe that's something that you are in fact looking for, is somebody that supports you, somebody. And like, to me, what I love with that is it's like the message that I get from this, especially the Six of Wands leading us into that Seven of Cups, is somebody being very supportive of and wishing well of and uplifting you toward reaching your fullest potential, toward reaching whatever your dreams are, your wildest, craziest hopes and dreams, whether it's in a career sense, of some sort. There's just a strong message of the two of you being so supportive and so uplifting toward one another and helping each other and supporting one another as you basically go after or chase after your dreams and what it is that you want in life. You know, and I feel like that is something that's very important, especially if you have, or if you at times can be more so of, let's say, a dreamer, and your person at times can be more so of a dreamer. And maybe the two of you, I'm going to say creative, but it doesn't have to be creative all the time. But like, maybe the two of you have some type of creative talent or hobby, and the two of you really support and uplift one another and help one another accomplish and go after goals that are really helping you each to achieve your own separate dreams and your own separate hopes in life. The last thing is the Four of Wands, and I love to see the Four of Wands. Typically, if we're looking at, let's say, a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we're going to see like a, yeah, I consider it like the white picket fence type of card, but in the background you kind of see a wedding going on in the background. But to me, I look at it as even similar. I mentioned house and home before with these two cards, but it's this very house and home type of card to me, the Four of Wands. Four of Wands here is going to represent that the two of you really building a life together. That may be being something that's very important to the both of you. Either starting a life together, building a life together, having a house and home together, having children together, getting married, etc. So in some ways, maybe, and some combination of these goals might be very important to both of you. And it seems as though the two of you are going to be working together in order to achieve those sorts of life goals. I feel like this person's going to provide you with stability and security, and you are providing them with the same exact thing. I feel like that this connection has the potential to be highly successful throughout time. I feel like this connection has long-term potential. I feel like this connection is definitely love of a lifetime territory. I feel like that Four of Wands is yet again going to bring me back to the celebration message of the two of you really celebrating life together. The two of you really, being, again, going back to that Six of Wands message and even the celebration card again, highlighting how supportive and uplifting the two of you are with one another. I feel like the Four of Wands is also going to represent comfort. I feel like it's going to represent feeling like you belong, really feeling like you've met your person, that this is the person that you belong with, and vice versa, them feeling that same exact way with you. Overall, I would say that this seems to be a very lovely, significant relationship. And I truly hope that as time goes on, this begins to resonate. Thank you so much, Pile 2, for allowing me to read for you today. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Hello, Pile 3, my amethyst pile. Today we are taking a look at the who, what, when, where, why, how of your next significant relationship. So, with that said, the first thing that we are going to be taking a look at is the how. And the cards that jumped out as far as how are the Sun and the Knight of Cups. So I would say that there's a varying degree of possibilities when it comes to these two cards as far as how it is that you will meet this person. And since there are a couple of different ways as to how you can meet this person, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you. And please use your discernment. So the Sun and the Knight of Cups are immediately going to bring up travel for me. So this can be an indication that you might meet this person while you are traveling. Okay? Another thing that I get from this is generally in the outdoors. You know, like you might meet this person at a park. Part of me also feels like with this Knight of Cups, there's this indication of you either being open to love when this person comes into your life, or you looking for love, like you are actively looking for love when you will meet this person, and vice versa. They're also going to be looking for love. So as far as being a how, I do feel like it's something that you are seeking out. With that said, as far as how you'll meet them, again, more so in regard to a location, I would say generally the outdoors. So for me, this will bring up something like the beach or a park. It'll bring up something like some type of outdoor event or celebration. And those events or celebrations, there's of course a wide array of events or celebrations that we could be having, let's say, in the great outdoors. But for me, it could be something like an outdoor concert, some type of sporting event, etc. There was one more thing. Oh, the other thing that I want to say, and it's a little bit to the Sun, because the Sun can also represent creativity, but mainly with the Knight of Cups. Another thing that's coming through here as a way that you could potentially meet this person could have something to do with some type of creative talent that you have. You know, maybe you meet this person as you're exploring some type of new creative hobby. Maybe you meet this person at some sort of event or meeting for whatever that hobby is, etc. And that's because the Knight of Cups carries with it a strong message of, like, let's say, artists and writers and creativity, etc. So to me, it could also be, and whether or not you have a craft of your own. Maybe for some of us, we do have a craft, and that's where we're going to be meeting or encountering this person, is at some type of event for that craft or hobby. But that's another message that comes through for me here. And as always, take what resonates and leave the rest, because obviously that's not going to resonate with every single person that's listening to this. But I do feel for some of us, it's like we might be meeting this person while we're either at an event for or practicing our craft, whatever it might be. And in that regard, I would also say that your person perhaps is also someone who has that creative side to them as well. Now, let's get into the who. First, we're going to get a couple of zodiac signs out here, and then we are going to move forward to some personality traits and very briefly go over possible physical attributes that this person might have. Okay, very briefly, by the way. So we have Aries and we have air signs. So we have the fire signs being represented by the sign of Aries. And we also have Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius joining us out here today. Now, let's get into some more about who this person could possibly be. And as always, when it comes to the zodiac signs, this could be representing their sun, moon, Venus, or rising sign. Now, personality-wise, we have the resting tree, and we have the diamond dreamer. Very interesting. Okay, so the resting tree is going to bring up patience and stillness. The Diamond Dreamer is going to bring up material wealth and true prosperity. So this person seems to have some money, which is a good thing for most of us, I would say. So as far as physical attributes, I'm literally going to pick this card up just so that I could more clearly see. And to me, it looks like similar to what I saw in the last pile, where these two seem to have lighter skin tones. I would maybe even dare to say that the man on this card has more so of an olive skin tone and longer hair. Because this, the person on this card's a male. Most of the females on this deck have longer hair, but the male on this card has longer hair. They also have a beard and a mustache, so maybe that's something that will stand out to you. But as far as, like, let's say hair color, eye color, it seems as though the woman on this card has a lighter hair color and this person has black hair. So there's a wide array of physical attributes that are being indicated here. We seem to have light skin to olive skin tone being represented on these cards. As far as a male, the male himself could have longer hair. As well as a beard and a mustache. So, and another thing too, it almost looks like, I think it's just the way that the card, actually it's the length of his hair, but what it looked like to me at first was tattoos. So maybe this person will also have some tattoos as well. Now, when it comes into, or when we get into more so of their personality traits, I love to see the two different sides of this, because we clearly have somebody here as far as the material wealth and true prosperity. We have somebody that is a dreamer. So again, maybe we do have someone who is rather creative, but we also have somebody who is very financially prosperous as well. And with that said, I do love the fact that this person might hustle, but they also make time for other things in their life that matter to them with this resting tree card. We have patience and we have stillness. That to me can be a strong indication that this person is someone who has a lot of determination, that this person is someone who at times is very dedicated to whatever their work or their craft perhaps is. There's this other word that I want to come up with, resilient. That's the word. It also just to me feels like between these two cards and the messages that are on them, it seems like this person is very resilient. When it comes to this person's patience, it seems like they really allow for things to grow, whether that's allowing for the feelings to grow within this relationship with you, whether that's allowing for their dreams and their creativity or their creative side or their career to take off. There's a lot of determination, dedication, and resilience all being indicated here, at least to me. That's kind of what I'm getting as like an underlying message or an underlying attribute or characteristic that this person has. I love the stillness message on the resting tree, because to me this can highlight that you and this person are going to feel quite comfortable with one another. It's kind of like reminding me of those types of relationships or situations where the two of you could just be with and around one another and not really have anything to do, and still feel like you're loving the time that you're spending together, which I feel like is very important when you're in a serious relationship, is being able to spend time with and around one another without always constantly, maybe let's say, having to be doing something. It's like just the time that the two of you get to spend with one another is enough. Not that the two of you won't do anything together. It's just the fact that the two of you seem to be able to really coexist and perhaps into the future cohabitate with one another and really get along well and feel very comfortable and loved and supported, let's say, in that regard. I hope that makes sense. When we have material wealth and true prosperity, I would say very clearly that this person is going to be quite well off. Okay, this person's definitely going to be someone who is doing very well for themselves in a financial sense. But what I love also with that resting tree card is even though they do well for themselves, and even though there's obviously going to be some type of material wealth and prosperity that this person has, it doesn't seem as though work takes over their entire life or their entire personality, let's say. almost like, like they're wealthy, they have the money that they have, they're doing very well for themselves, and they do follow their dreams, but they're not constantly prioritizing work over you, sort of thing, is what I'm trying to get at here. Like this person knows when to rest, knows when to have a good time, knows when to work, but they don't allow their work life to affect their relationships. I hope that makes sense. Very good news. Now we're going to move forward to time frames. I've been saying this to every pile. When it comes to the time frames, please use discernment. So use discernment. Use discernment when it comes to the time frames. Because we have two very different time frames here. We have the next new moon, which would be coming up, I would say, in approximately 2 weeks. So that's very soon into the near future. We also have Aquarius season, January 20th to February 19th, which would be about, 9 or 10 months from now. This year's already going by very, very quickly. It's like I could barely even remember that we're in April. So we have next new moon and we have Aquarius season. As always, use discernment when it comes to the time frames. These time frames are meant to more so be representing when it is that you are going to end up in a relationship with this person. And I would even go so far as to say, when I have a card like new moon and Aquarius season, maybe there's some potential to you meeting this person on the new moon or near the hour. Not meeting this person. I keep screwing this up too. When I asked the question for the time frames, I asked, when are you going to be in a relationship with this person? Therefore, it's possible that maybe the new moon during Aquarius season of next year is going to be around the time that you and this person will enter into a relationship. And of course, for some of us, it could be happening within the next couple of weeks as well. As always, as I said, use discernment when it comes to the time frames. We have, so now we're moving forward. Now we're moving forward to the what. Basically, the what is meant to represent a whole bunch of different things. When it comes to you and this relationship, when it comes to what this relationship is meant to teach you, when it comes to what this relationship is going to be all about, when it comes to how this relationship is going to be between you and this person. Basically, what is this person bringing into your life? Very general questions meant to give us a little bit of further insight into this connection that you will share with your next relationship partner. And for this, we have the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. I love to see it. With the Emperor, what I love with this card is when it jumped out when I was pulling the cards for this, the first message that I got from it was how you're going to know what it feels like to be able to depend on someone and also to be able to have somebody depend on you. It's this very strong message of how, I want to say, what's the word? Like how much reciprocation, rather. It was more so of a message of reciprocation. You're going to know what it feels like to be in a relationship where when somebody says that they're going to do something, they're going to do it, and vice versa. When you say that you're going to do something, you're going to do it. The two of you reciprocating one another's time, effort, and energy. The two of you being there for one another, supporting one another, uplifting one another, being each other's support systems, being each other's person that you can depend on and rely on in any situation. Really providing stability and security to your partner and them providing it to you, which I feel is absolutely lovely and beautiful to see here. Another thing with the Emperor is I would say that this is going to be indicative of this being a long-lasting connection, which is exactly what it is that we are looking for. We're looking for somebody that you're going to be in a significant relationship with, a relationship that will hopefully be lasting a lifetime. And with that said, I do feel like the Emperor is highlighting that the foundation that the two of you are going to build with one another is going to be strong enough to withstand just about anything. Okay? So there's a lot of love. There's a lot of comfort. There's also I want to say, too, which I'm not sure how this will resonate or if it will resonate, but there's also this strong sense of I want to say duty between you and this person. There's a strong sense of being there. There's a strong sense of being a provider, whether it's a provider of material wealth or it's a provider of love and affection. It seems like the two of you have got one another. That's something that's coming through strong for me as well. This message of I've got you. You know, I've got you, I've got you. The two of you really just having one another's backs throughout it all. We move forward to the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles actually, funnily enough, is going to bring me back to this dreamer message and this creative message of the Knight of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles at times, it can represent stability and security. It can represent confidence. It can represent new jobs and new money coming in. But it can also represent our skills, talents, and abilities. It can represent having a craft or having some type of creative outlet that we devote a lot of time, effort, and energy into. And for me, what this feels like is that there could be similar hobbies between the both of you. I feel like there's a lot of compatibility when it comes to the both of you having similar interests. And I feel like the two of you could very well either share a hobby or some type of creative outlet, or the both of you might have your own separate creative outlet that you put time, effort, and energy into. With that said, I would also reckon to say that the Eight of Pentacles is going to represent how much support the two of you give one another toward whatever this creativity sort of message is. How supportive it is. It's really, I want to say, one of the main things about the pile 3 that continues to come through here is the supportiveness and the having one another's backs. You know, there's just this very strong sense of being able to depend on and rely on one another, of being supported by one another, of always feeling like this person has your back in any situation. I hope that that makes sense as we begin to move forward into the near future. We lastly come across the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is beautiful and again is going to bring me to this message of depending on and relying on one another, of supporting one another, of being one another's sort of like emotional support system as well. And with that said, it's more so this message of being able to trust one another, of having a lot of respect for one another, of being able to confide in one another, finding one another to be very trustworthy and supportive, finding one another to be comforting and safe spaces for each other, being able to, even at a base level, feel very comfortable around one another and feeling as though you can instantly trust this person, feeling like this person instantly understands you and you instantly understand them. And what I love with this, or even with these 3 cards to jump out, is the amount of trust that's taking place within this connection. You know, trusting that there's reciprocation taking place, trusting that there is, like if your person, or if you say that you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Trusting that the two of you are supportive of one another, trusting that you can confide in your person, etc., and so on. There's a lot of openness. There's a lot of comfort and there's a lot of kindness in this connection. There's also a lot of compassion and a lot of empathy. I feel like as far as like that emotional support system message, the emotional intimacy between the both of you is going to be very strong. Okay, there's a lot of emotional intimacy. I would even go so far as to say that there's, you know, a strong physical connection as well between the both of you. And it just seems as though, to me, the two of you want to provide one another with the utmost loving, respectful, and trusting relationship that you possibly can. And I feel like both of you are going to deliver on that. So I do hope that that makes sense, pile 3. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you. Thank you all so much for allowing me to read for you today. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.